on the shot. Go, Georgia Southern!
For kill once again.
Raymond Johnson, a huge sack in the final minute 40.
D'Angelo with the goal for Georgia Southern.
Eagle Nation, it's time for Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Alongside Colin Lacey, I'm Danny Reed. Coming up this week, we're going to talk Olympic sports, a special look back at one of the best athletic moments in the history of Georgia Southern University, and a sit-down with women's rifle head coach Sandra Warman. But this week we begin brought to you by Optum Orthopedics with a look back at last weekend's victory over Texas State right here at Paulson Stadium. Now, Colin, this wrapped up the three-game homestand like we mentioned all week long. Texas State, though, didn't exactly make themselves feel at home despite not being here for the last 5 years. First drive of the game, they try to punt. Ball goes over Seamus O'Kelly's head, and Georgia Southern to set up with first and goal on their very first snap of the contest.
And Coach Lunsford and the entire staff had talked about all week, you've got to get out early against the Texas State team. We talked about it last week, how they're a lot better than the 1-8 record they came in with. But as Coach Lunsford said earlier on in the week, you got to remind them that they are 1-8.
It took only 2 plays, but Georgia Southern got into the end zone courtesy of a 1-yard touchdown run by Shai Wirtz. We'd hear plenty more from him this evening as Georgia Southern jumped out 7-0. But on the ensuing kickoff, momentum wasn't to be had by anybody, it seemed. Jeremiah Haydel for the Bobcats ran it back 97 yards. First time that Georgia Southern had allowed a kickoff return touchdown at Paulson since 2011, and it was 7-7. Good thing is Georgia Southern regained control. 3 consecutive interceptions from the defense, and 13 straight points resulted in a 20-7 lead, only to see Shai Wirtz in between all of that, a 29-yard touchdown run in which he set the conference record for rushing yards by a quarterback. Colin, though, Texas State scored the next 2 touchdowns in a span of 18 seconds, and they jumped back out 21-20.
It was like we heard throughout the week that you need to get up on Texas State early, which we mentioned Georgia Southern did, but got to put the foot on the throat mentality. Georgia Southern letting them back in the ball game, but Texas State coming back and showing what they're made of.
Final drive of the first half, though, Georgia Southern converted a 4th down and 1 when Wirtz took off for 28 yards to the Texas State 4, and then he finished it up with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the first half, part of a 131-yard effort, most against a conference foe this season, and the Eagles led 27-21 at the half. The second half saw the Eagles occupy the football for 42 out of a possible 59 plays, but even so, it was a one-score game down to the wire. But as Alex Rayner knocked through 2 more field goals to finish the evening 4 for 4. In the end, it was Georgia Southern turning back Texas State. The final score at Paulson, the Eagles 40, Texas State 38. Georgia Southern 6-2 on the season, 4-2 in Sun Belt Conference play. We step out of league play this weekend, which we will talk about during our final segment. But when we come back from this timeout, we're going to take a look back at a very special day in the history of Eagle football. That's next when Blue White Weekly continues.
It's back. The return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first-place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years. In America, we're not about to take this year off. So at the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months, 90 days payment deferment, and $2,000 trade assist cash on select Ford SUVs and Fusion. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. So get the family together, take the scenic route, and make some joy this season. Ford, Built for the Holidays.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Hi, I'm Paul Newman with Statesboro Real Estate, the broker and owner, also co-owner of PMG Rentals, which is a property management company. As a Georgia Southern graduate in 2005, I got into real estate fresh out of school and was excited to have the opportunity to be the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. I would say what sets me apart is the drone and online marketing presence that Statesboro Real Estate has to offer. Statesboro is such a small town and just has a really cool feel to it, and it's neat to see somebody at the grocery store or at the ball fields and know that you've helped them in the past and have the opportunity to continue to help them pursue their dream home. PMG Rentals is a great value adder to Statesboro Real Estate for the fact that if you're a renter, we can show you houses to buy in the future, and also if you're an investor, you can purchase with us and then lean to PMG as your property management for the future. Whether you're looking to buy an investment property, have it professionally managed with PMG Rentals, buying your first home, or buying your dream home, make sure you call Paul.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, Go Further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. This coming Monday is the 7-year anniversary of one of the best days in the history of Georgia Southern football, when on November 23, 2013, the Eagles went to Gainesville and they knocked off the Florida Gators.
9 and 2 at the 16-yard line. Snap to Morningweg. Looking right, moving, looking, throwing, catch is made, and it's over and complete.
It was just one of those deals, man, where it was just different because you're at Georgia Southern, you're used to going on lone playoff runs and competing for that national championship, and going through that season and just thinking about, man, this season is the season that can propel us into the FBS, and being able to finish off the season with a win against Florida, knowing that you were not going to get the playoff run, you were not going to get that opportunity at that national championship. So that Florida game really became our championship game.
We really kind of had to set a new set of goals for the first time since I had been there, and that did not include getting in the playoffs and winning a national championship, or even playing for a conference championship. But our team set a goal, or set goals. Our team set goals for the season, and one of those was to get the first BCS victory in school history over a major conference team. It was just everything that we had as a team and as a program we poured into that game, and so I remember that season and just how that team persevered through a lot of adversity that year.
I think the biggest thing I remember from that game is just the power of our fans and our sideline. Our guys, when you start talking about 11 people on the field, it was really one heartbeat, and that sideline was one heartbeat, and all our fans was one heartbeat. I think that's the biggest thing I remember, is just that excitement and that, hey, we're about to do this and we're going to do this.
The last play, just that ball getting batted down and everybody rushing the field is a great feeling. But what a lot of people, even those that knew at the time, may forget, we had 18 scholarship players that were out for the season at that point. And when you only have 63 scholarships, that's a lot of guys. So we kind of limped into that game, but had enough good players and enough guys that cared, and a real sense of brotherhood, and they just played their hearts out. And I think that was the thing that I remember the most, is the determination and the will to win that team had that day.
Just there was a great feel that day of, man, we can go do this. And it was awesome because the Swamp, was everything is advertised as far as their crowd and everything, but, they had put Eagle Nation behind our sideline, which was really cool to me because, by the end of that game, we had really taken over the stadium, and they were so loud and cheering for us. And I just remember, trying to put that game away at the end, and the whole crowd sitting there chanting one more time. And it was just a great feeling, and what an awesome moment for our program.
Remember this day, November 23rd, 2013. Georgia Southern just beat Florida 26-20. Hey now!
On the other side of this break, we're talking Georgia Southern Olympic sports. That's when Blue White Weekly continues.
What's important now, more than ever, is making sure you are connected. Bullock Solutions is Statesboro's partner in high-speed internet, phone, and smart home technology with residential and commercial solutions. We continue to move forward and are here to get you connected.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System, we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
What's important now, more than ever, is making sure you are connected. Bullock Solutions is Statesboro's partner in high-speed internet, phone, and smart home technology with residential and commercial solutions. We continue to move forward and are here to get you connected.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford. Go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. A lot of Olympic sports to get to this week, Colin. We begin with Georgia Southern Volleyball, finally back at home to take on the Trojans of Troy.
To wrap up the regular season inside Hanner Fieldhouse last week, we take a look at those highlights now. Georgia Southern Volleyball back inside Hanner Fieldhouse to close out the regular season with 3 matches against the Trojans of Troy last weekend. The first match wouldn't go the Eagles' way, but used a 5-1 run to open up a 15-10 cushion in the second set. Then with Georgia Southern leading Troy 20-15, the Trojans won 6 consecutive points and 9 of the next 10 to take control of the set. Tori Hester for the Trojans would start the run with 2 straight kills, and it would be finished off as Natalie Hummel and Amara Anderson would serve an ace, and Georgia Southern would fall in the first match 3-0. On to the second match on Thursday evening. Georgia Southern in the second set leading 19-18, but the Eagles would go on a 5-1 run capped off by a solo block from Lauren Hager, and then a combined block by Hager and Baylor Bumford would have Georgia Southern looking pretty. But Troy scores the next 2 points to trim the margin to 24-21. But Baylor Bumford would put down a ball to end the set, and Georgia Southern would go up 2-0. Ahead by 2 points late in the third, Georgia Southern would score 4 of the next 5 points with help by kills by Lauren Hager, Baylor Bumford, and Hannah McLaughlin that would make the margin 24-19 in favor of Georgia Southern. The Eagles would finish it off and take the second match at 3-0. On into the third match of the weekend on Friday afternoon, the Eagles would find themselves down 15-11 in the second set, but the Eagles would score 12 straight points behind the serve by Maddie Bryant. Chamblee Russell would post 6 kills during that stretch, and Lauren Hager would have had a kill and 2 blocks as the Eagles carried the momentum into the third and jumped out to a 10-4 lead over the Trojans on the back of 4 kills and an ace by Maya Wilson, who had 15 kills and 4 blocks in the match. The Eagles would pull out match number 3 of the weekend, 3-0, as that wraps up the regular season, and it's on to the tournament for Georgia Southern Volleyball. Georgia Southern Volleyball has moved on to the Sun Belt Conference Championships, a little bit different of a format in 2020 for the championship over in Foley, Alabama. The last 3 days have been pool play. Now the Sun Belt Conference will move today to the bracket portion over in Foley, Alabama in the championships. Georgia Southern men's soccer also finished up their 2020 campaign in the Sun Belt Conference tournament, that one being held up in Atlanta at Turner Field as they fell in the first round to the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers by a final score of 6-0. But a bright note for Georgia Southern men's soccer's Adam Davey was named an all-league pick, and a couple of bright spots around Georgia Southern athletics as well, Danny, as women's rifle had a pretty big weekend.
First ever ranked victory for Sandra Warman's club over the Shooting Education Center. It was the Georgia Collegiate Championships. The Eagles were hosting Georgia Military and North Georgia. North Georgia came in number 20 in the country. Eagles got the victory by a single point, and again, their first ever win against a ranked team. Only perfect timing to tell you that coming up next, it's Coach's Corner with Sandra Warman. That'll be after this timeout when Blue White Weekly continues.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years. In America, we're not about to take this year off. So at the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months, 90 days payment deferment, and $2,000 trade assist cash on select Ford SUVs and Fusion. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. So get the family together, take the scenic route, and make some joy this season. Ford, Built for the Holidays.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, Go Further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. We step into Coach's Corner here at the Shooting Sports Education Center with head rifle coach Sandra Warman. And Coach, appreciate you joining us. Take us through how COVID has impacted the team this year for rifle.
Oddly enough, every cloud has a silver lining, and it's been stressful, it's been anxiety-provoking. The match schedules have been all over the place, but within that, the silver lining is we've really come together. We've really distilled down the idea of what are fundamentals.
This entire roster is made up of freshmen and sophomores, or as you like to call them, froshmores. Having such a young team, what's the biggest growth that you've seen from them?
You finally make it to college, Division I varsity too, and you want to hit the ground running. You want to show me what you've got, and I don't want that. I want to celebrate what got you here, but then I also want to put you in a position to go from good to great. And so that means checking in with the fundamentals. So getting them to understand that that's not a ding on their training. It's not a ding on the athlete that they are. It's preparing them to take the next step. And they all bought right in.
You talk about the growth of this team, and it really came to fruition this past weekend when you hosted the Georgia Collegiate Championships, knocking off number 20 in the country, North Georgia, the first victory against a ranked opponent for this program's history. When you have that in the back pocket, how does that help kind of feed the fire for this team a little bit?
I think it solidifies everything we've been saying. We're not score focused here, because if all you've got in your toolbox is score, that's going to fail you. So we think about everything but score. Each person on the line had a very specific challenge where they came to a crossroads and had to say, am I going to work through this? Am I going to rely on my process and use the tools in my toolbox? Or I'm going to say, that's it. To heck with it. I'm just going to fling lead down range and then be done and, go get a soda. Not one of them did that. They had their mettle tested, and they all came up with flying colors.
I know one of the big things that you focus on is everything outside of pulling the trigger for this team. When you look at outside of the range, what's the biggest thing you try to emphasize?
That they are competent and can make decisions and have their own opinions, and those matter and are valid. Historically, there was a mindset of, you walk through the range doors and you leave everything on the outside. But that's not really realistic. So you've got to have the tools to be able to work through all of it all the time, especially as a student athlete, where you're constantly doing something, going somewhere, working with a multitude of deadlines. It's like a fire hose. It comes at you all at once.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you kindly.
Once again, that's head coach Sandra Warman for Georgia Southern Rifle. We'll continue with more Blue White Weekly right after this.
This is it. This is the day we work for. All the months of preparation, all the hard work. Blue collar, discipline, toughness. That is what has led to this moment. There are people out there that tell you you can't do it. But what do we say to that? G-A-T-A! They will tell you you're not fast enough. They'll tell you you're not strong enough. But what do we say to that? G-A-T-A! They will tell you you can't have it. You don't deserve it. But what do we say to that? G-A-T-A! Get after those assets.
So you'd like to open a checking account today?
As a farmer, half measures never measure up. You put in late nights and early mornings. There will be new challenges. So you adapt, learn, and endure. As a farmer, you put a part of you in everything you do, in what you plant, what you raise, and what you build. Case IH, built by farmers.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years. In America, we're not about to take this year off. So at the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months, 90 days payment deferment, and $2,000 trade assist cash on select Ford SUVs and Fusion. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. So get the family together, take the scenic route, and make some joy this season. Ford, Built for the Holidays.
Greetings from Vive Country, your new crazy fast neighbor, now in 16 states. We're thrilled to be your home and business internet, phone, and TV provider. From cutting-edge technology to excuse-free customer service, we're committed to our local communities. We've been working non-stop upgrading and enhancing our fiber-based network that delivers speeds up to 5 gig internet. We believe in faster speeds, community involvement, and 100% customer satisfaction. Join Vive Country today at vivebroadband.com.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, Go Further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Time to preview this week's football opponent, brought to you by Georgia Power. First ever matchup between Georgia Southern and the Army Black Knights, two teams that are 6-2 on the season, two of the 15 teams nationally that have at least 6 wins so far in 2020. And Colin, in the very first installment, the Eagles have the pleasure of going on post up to West Point and gorgeous Michie Stadium.
It's one of the most iconic venues in college football, one of the best views from the press box that we'll get to see in just a little bit. But being able to have this experience, yes, it's great that Georgia Southern and Army have so many connections and you get this football game, but the experience of being able to go up to West Point and be able to have this experience at Michie Stadium is something that these guys are really going to enjoy.
Kickoff between the Eagles and the Black Knights actually just a couple of moments away over on CBS Sports Network. As Georgia Southern tries to end Army's 7-game winning streak at Michie Stadium, they are 22-2 are the Black Knights at their home facility over the last 24 games. And of course on offense, we know they're going to run the flex bone. Brent Davis is the offensive coordinator. He spent parts of 13 years here in Statesboro. Jeff Monken is head coach. That's the bread and butter. The quarterback, Christian Anderson, is the one that makes them go.
And having so much familiarity with that offense that Georgia Southern saw for so many years under Coach Monken and Coach Brent Davis, being able to have that in the back pocket. We talk about all the connections between these teams. You look at all 3 phases for Army. The offense, led by Brent Davis, as we mentioned. Everybody knows what he does in Eagle Nation. On the defensive side, you got Nate Woody, which seems like Georgia Southern has gone up against him at least once every year for the past 10 years, it seems like. And then on special teams, Jeff Monken, that's where his background is. And Coach Sean Chaternio, the special teams coordinator for Army, also a former Georgia Southern Eagle.
And that Army offense rushing for 303 yards per game so far this season. That is number 2 in the country behind another service academy in Air Force. That defense that Colin talked about is a 3-4 alignment. They've been very good this year, giving up just 15 points per game. You can look at the schedule and say, well, they've played 3 FCS teams, but Colin, this is a hungry, aggressive, determined unit.
And I think the biggest thing that really embodies what this Army team is, and it should come no surprise to anybody coming from the U.S. Military Academy, is the discipline that they show. Obviously, going up against the triple option every day in practice, you gain that discipline, but it's going to be a big key for this Black Knights team.
Another hidden part of this matchup, you already mentioned special teams. Army has blocked 5 kicks this season. That is number 1 in the country.
You've got so many guys that are so athletic and being able to bust through lines. You've had so many opportunities for the special teams unit to make up for big plays. And it's going to be a key part for Georgia Southern that prides themselves on being able to take care of special teams.
On the banks of the Lusk Reservoir from Michie Stadium, it's the first ever meeting between Georgia Southern and the Army Black Knights. When this one's over, you can switch it over to the CBS Sports Network and have us tuned in all across the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Thanks as always to the Multimedia Development Center for their fine production work. For Colin Lacey, this is Danny Reed. We'll talk to you next week on Blue White Weekly.